What if I told you everything you've heard about almonds is wrong? Would you believe me if I said that you're looking at the world through a prism, a lens that is filtering out the truth about the natural world, creation, intelligent design, and the magic that is our actual everyday reality? My goal is not to convert you to a religion, but to use almonds to show you a different way of perception that is all around us, written into the very fabric of life and nature. The word almond comes from Old French almande or allemonde, late Latin amandula, derived from amygdala from the ancient Greek amygdalae. Amygdala, an almond-shaped portion of the brain. The amygdala is a collection of nuclei found deep within the temporal lobe. The term amygdala comes from Latin and translates to almond because one of the most prominent nuclei of amygdala has an almond-like shape. In Greek mythology, the most interesting legend linked to the almond tree is that of the love between Phyllis and Acamas. Acamas left home to join the Trojan War, and Phyllis had to wait for him for more than 10 years. When the war ended and Acamas still wasn't back, Phyllis thought he was dead and let herself die. Athena, warrior goddess, pitying their love, turned Phyllis into an almond tree. When Acamas finally returned and heard about this tragedy, he ran to the tree and hugged it. Phyllis felt this hug, and a ton of white flowers started blooming. According to this legend, the yearly blooming of the almond flowers remind people of Acamas and Phyllis's love. Another legend linked with the almond tree is the myth of Agdistis and Attis, wherein the king of the gods, Zeus, following a nocturnal mission, impregnates Gaia, the embodiment of the earth, and she gives birth to a superhuman being called Agdistis, which has both male and female reproductive organs. The gods feared the hermaphrodite deity and used deception to make him or her cut off their male member. An almond tree sprung out of the spot on the ground where the genitalia fell. This tree then bore a fruit which a nymph named Nana picked and ate, yet it turned into a man in her womb, and she gave birth to Attis, who himself would be transformed into an evergreen tree, the one that never withers. The almond is mentioned at least 6 times in the Old Testament, and its significance in Christian and Hebrew symbology is far greater than the popularity of just consuming almonds in the ancient world. The most well-known appearance of almonds in the Bible is found in Jeremiah's visions, where God speaks directly to Jeremiah. The word of the Lord came to me, saying, "Jeremiah, what do you see?" And I said, "I see a rod of an almond tree." Then the Lord said to me, "You have seen well, for I am watching over my word to perform it." Another reference to the almond appears in the book of Exodus, when God gives clear instructions on how he wants the sanctuary to look. In describing the menorah, oil lamp, he says, "There shall be 6 branches going out of the sides thereof, 3 branches of the candlestick out of the one side thereof, and 3 branches of the candlestick out of the other side thereof. 3 cups made like almond blossoms in one branch, a knot and a flower, and 3 cups made like almond blossoms in the other branch, a knot and a flower, so for the 6 branches going out of the candlestick." In Numbers 17, God instructs Moses to obtain a staff or branch from each of the 12 tribal leaders and to put them into the tent of meeting in front of the Ark of the Covenant. Moses does as he is told. And it came to pass on the morrow that Moses went into the tent of the testimony, and behold, the rod of Aaron for the house of Levi was budded, and put forth buds, and bloomed blossoms, and bore ripe almonds, that reads the scripture. This same miraculous rod that budded, produced blossoms and ripe almonds, was the same rod used by Moses to part the Red Sea and by David in battle against the giant Goliath. The almond is the first deciduous tree to flower, fully blooming during February in the sign of Pisces. The shape of the almond is also the center of the symbol known in Latin as the Vesica Piscis, which is an ancient symbol formed from the intersection of two circles with the same radius. The almond has been an important element in Christian iconography since the Middle Ages. Its shape, similar to that of a fish, is used instead of Christ's name. The Greek word for fish, ichthys, was the most famous acronym for Jesus Christ. Early on, the Christians saw in the almond a symbol of the Virgin Mary, its shape being the union of two circles, humanity and divinity. This is why Christian icons often represent the Virgin Mary and Jesus Christ within an almond-like mandorla or frame, stating that in them, heaven and earth unite. Mandorla means almond in Italian. In the human brain, your cerebrum is the front part of your brain that starts and manages conscious thoughts, meaning things that you are actively think about or do, and voluntary movement. The cerebellum is the hindbrain structure that controls balance, coordination, and motor skills and involuntary functions such as the nervous system, circulatory system, and respiration. The amygdala, remember, is located between the two and is there to help regulate emotion and encode memories, especially when it comes to more emotional remembrances. The amygdala, the almond-shaped portion of the brain, therefore, is the center of Christ consciousness, and its almond shape is also reminiscent of the third eye. In Hebrew, the word for almond is shaked, which is the same word meaning to watch or wake. Therefore, keep watch, shakad, because you do not know on what day your Lord will come. Matthew 24, verse 42. A Hebrew manuscript from the 16th century reads, "Here now are the 7 great privileges and powers of he who holds the key of Shlomo in his right hand, and in his left the blossoming almond tree branch." It's time to wake. Be watchful. Use your almond eyes, your third eye. Find the center of Christ consciousness. See the magic and wonder of the natural world that is everywhere around us. From the food that grows and we eat, to the water we drink and falls from the sky, and the human beings that we love and play with. Thank the Creator, because without the Creator we wouldn't be here. And love your neighbor as you love yourself, and may you be blessed.